Hello, thank you for coming. If you've never been to Moab before, it's pretty cool. Quick synopsis. Yeah, Mark Allen. I head up the exterior design shop for Jeep, which is a pretty cool job. And then as a side hustle, I do this stuff. So don't get paid extra for it, but that's all right. Quick history on why we do this. Originally, we built cars and or special Jeeps and take them to SEMA, the SEMA show. And it made me mad that we parked them inside. We made them highly capable. We did everything on them to make them function and parked them in a building in Las Vegas. I was out here once with Scott Brown. We had a car that we built for that. And I said, screw it, I'm gonna go drive it. And he says, if you're gonna go drive it, I'm gonna put somebody in with you. And we invented this. And it's grown. We've done it now for quite a number of years. And it's always fun to put these vehicles together and share with you sort of our thoughts, what we're thinking about, whether that be a body style, a color, a feature on the vehicle, and a lot of that we drag out and put into production cars. My best example of that would be the Wrangler that we brought out in 18. Specifically the Rubicon. We did a lot of work to that car that we learned making these vehicles here, so it's a big deal for us. And yes, we pack it back into what we're doing. Now I'll take you through the new vehicles that we've got this year. I'll try to be kind of brief on them. One we're going to get stuck on for a little while, but that's okay. I got a little piece of performance art for you when we do this thing. So let's dig into it, okay? This way. Huh? I'm being groomed. Nina's a stickler for details. So Rubicon 392, which is directly, like, people have been screaming at us for years, can you please put a V8 in the dang thing? And we did. So 392, 485 horsepower, Rubicon only. The vehicle will come, well, you'll see it tomorrow. This one is a bit more special. 37-inch tires on a beadlock, 17-inch rim. It's a special built rim for it. Added a winch to the front. This front bumper, what I was talking about, the steel front bumper that we put on Rubicon, was really a product of what we do out here. And then the removable ends, as you see on the truck here, where we take the ends off and you get better approach angle. That is really a product of us doing this kind of activity. Rubicon 392 also uses the hood that we share with Mojave, but the secret of this hood is really, it's the export diesel hood, so it was something we had on hand. Unique, the export diesel hood is steel, and all the other vehicles, they're aluminum. And it's something to do with how it's pedestrian protection and head impact on the hood. It's taller and made of steel, and it doesn't make any sense to me, but that's how it works. And then the scoop, this is not equipped with the hydro guide that's in the production cars, but you'll see that on there. Also unique on this vehicle was the half doors, the return of half doors. So this is probably the coolest combination. The half doors combined with the power top, that the uppers of the doors come off quickly. On the power top, the quarter panel windows come off really quickly. We took the extra step of taking the backlight out as it should be, and I think that we may be heading that way. And then the power top. What a great combination, because you don't have to deal with a whole bunch of panels to take off, and this is a pretty wide open thing. Having the half door return in the low belt line is pretty cool. Originally, this is kind of a COVID baby, because we were supposed to be out here a year ago showing you this car, and then Jim was going to say, and one of these is real, and it was going to be this car, but we went on, didn't show the car, and then the production schedule brought out not only the 392, but now the half doors are ready. So kind of a stumble, but we get over it if that's the worst thing that happens to us. So anyway, 392. All right. Next up is, and Jim named it. I didn't name it. It's the Red Bear. Where you at, Jimmy? You got to take credit for that. But this is a Gladiator diesel. It's a Rubicon Gladiator diesel. It's a Rubicon Jeep pickup diesel. That's so cool. We've been waiting for that for years and years and years. So here it is. We've upgraded this one as well. We added a 37-inch tire on a 17-inch wheel, re-geared it at 488, so we get that back. The same bumper as that. Of course, we've taken the end caps off of it and then reused that cool Mojave hood. Half doors on this are the real thing. So those are carbon fiber pieces because that's where we're at in production, but now I've got the real things here, so you can enjoy that. This is a cool combination, the half doors with the soft top on the truck, the only soft top pickup in the market, with the back curtain off and the uppers here. We added to it this cool bed bar on the back. We put the spare tire in the bed, 37. And the interior is really cool. We did it in this great lumberjack plaid, so the interior is really cool. It's this loud red and black flannel on the interior. So. The Canadian maple leaf is for my friend Jimmy. So anyway, little secret there. The red bear. Where you at, Jim? I lost you. There he is. Over here. We did a car, or I keep saying car, people beat me up for that. We did a Jeep. 2 years ago, we were out here in the overlanding space, which continues to explode. We've been doing overland-based vehicles for many, many years. This is a continuation of that. What's cool here, the Way Out, which was what it was called, and it was the all-new Gladiator at the time. This is a Gladiator with the diesel engine in it. It's a Rubicon model. The paint color is an upcoming production color, so that's kind of a cool thing to see here. Earl is the color. Sort of a light gray-green. Again, 37-inch tires and a slight lift to it. Well, let me talk about the interior. It's been redone. This car's actually got a ton of color to it, but it's very, very subdued. I think it looks like a phone repair truck in some South American country or something. I think it's really cool. And then the interior really comes alive. It's got this blue and orange plaid into it. We've taken the carpets out like we always do for the Moab environment. Just carpet doesn't work out here. Hint, hint. And the best piece of this is this great overland equipment adventure. It's the Habitat system. And the Habitat they make now for the Gladiator. And what I don't like about most overland gear is it's very cold, and it's usually aluminum and stainless steel and stuff. What we've done with this is I liken it to an egg. It's very not much color on the outside, and we crack it open and it's full of color. So this is a drop-in piece. It has I can't guess what size the bed is. It's enough for 2 people, and it's about 16 feet long, opened up, and about 7.5 feet high. I've had 4 people in this, believe it or not, comfortably, without getting really weird with each other. So I'm now going to bring my guys in. We're going to open it up. So imagine pulling into your very favorite secret spot. You've got to get through a creek and around a rock and back there, and within just a couple of minutes, you're camping. You're opened up with camping. I turned the wind on to help them bring this down. Excellent. I brought the shortest guy out to hold on to it.
No pressure, boys. No pressure.
Yeah, yeah. My lovely assistants, John and Tim.
You're welcome. Hey, John, your collar.
I'll get that. Go ahead and do your other thing. They're not professionals, so be patient. So inside, you can go, and please, we put the step out. Please, if you don't go inside of this thing, you're missing the whole show. This is the bed, standing area. There's a forward area. There's actually platforms to put sleep more people in there. We added the drop downs to it. There's a camp kitchen that rolls out, some stove, and then a fridge freezer. What a cool piece of kit. I love this thing. Thank you, Tim and John.
You're welcome.
Well done, boys.
So inside, bright orange and lots of wood. We did wood on the floor, wood around it. It's got backlit lighting to it. A really cool, like a little sit area to like put your shoes on. Even if the weather is kind of crummy out, you'd be okay. I think, guys, we'll need to tie this down too. Okay. I always get my boss. It's like, why is there always booze in these things? But yeah, you got all the corny stuff with it. But please make your way inside of this thing. It's super cool. Far out.
Probably don't.
Okay. Diesel engine farther out. All right. Next up.
Yeah.
Hopefully this color is blinding you in the sun. We've been doing for several years the resto mods, and personally always attached to these things. I just think they're cool. It's a great way to tell the history of Jeep and all the different models that have happened over time. This is a 1968 Jeepster, and the Jeepster was special because there at the bottom end there was the little CJ, and then there was the Wagoneer up at the top end. This was sort of the vehicle in between. Had the capabilities of the CJ, but it had things that weren't available on the CJ. Nice things like doors, windows that rolled up. There was a roof. There was a heater. There was a radio. It was a little bit longer wheelbase. There was actually a pickup truck version of this thing, and then there was a sort of a roadster version of it. And it was really a time when I think the Jeep corporation was a bit confused of what they wanted to be. But really, this was the vehicle that competed with like a Bronco or a Scout, something like that. A little bit bigger than a CJ. Actually, interesting, tearing into this car, how it was built. It used CJ front fenders. It used a modified CJ grille. Had their own nose on it. Early on, there was an earlier Jeepster, and most of those were two-wheel drive, and they were set up to compete with, of all things, like an MG, which was really weird. That's how confused they were. This is special. It's dropped on a late model JL Rubicon, so it has the Rubicon drivetrain to it. 17s. We've had to make some body mods to it to make that work, but it worked out pretty good. I actually like that it changes a little bit. It's powered by the 2-liter turbo that we had called our friends up at SRT, and they put a hot tune on it. It's about 25% more than the stock engine. I would say it's probably, I don't know, 340 horse. It scoots. It's pretty cool. This vehicle is not set up like the typical vehicle you see in Moab for Moab duty on the rock. It's chrome and bright colors. It's a bit loud and ostentatious, and I like it. We called it the Beach just because it felt really beachy to us. This combination of this gold, the ivory, and then a bright red interior is super cool. The interior is all JL, but we painted it and tried to fit it into the period of time. Also an automatic transmission in that. Weird things about this car. So if you don't know, AMC at the time, or Kaiser even, they owned Kelvinator refrigerators. And I look at this car like that is a handle off a refrigerator, and if it's not off a refrigerator, it's sure styled like one. Pretty cool. And then inside the door, there's stampings that are really typical. You would see these on a refrigerator as well. In fact, the Nash Metropolitan, when it dropped down, had this same kind of stamping in there. It's weird to pick up all these little clues that's going on. The back, this cut back, this was brought to you by the Gremlin people. That's why that's shaped like that. And an interesting note, it has the Jeep pressed into the tailgate. And if you were with us last time we were here, we had an M715 truck, and we salvaged the tailgate off of that, and we put the stamping on the back here. It's not how it was originally, but it fits really, really well. It's super cool. So, Jeepster Beach. All right? What do I do with this thing? I don't even know. Where do I start? Jeepster Magneto, or Jeep Magneto, is a Wrangler, and it's probably that's not the most interesting thing looking out here, but it's probably the most interesting thing ever. And it's a drivetrain you've probably never driven. To be clear, this is a battery electric Wrangler. we kept all the things that were important to us in Jeep for duty in Moab, meaning the stick axles, the high articulation suspension, the low range gearing. We bought this vehicle. Funny story. We bought a. I couldn't find anywhere on the property a Rubicon 2-door with a manual transmission. We didn't have one, so we bought it from a dealer who was too happy to give it to us at full price. And Jim will get him in the back room later on, I think. We bought this car, brought it in. We extracted the V6 that was there and replaced that with an electric motor. There are 4 batteries. It doesn't have any gas capabilities at all. In fact, at some point we were looking for a gas-powered winch because we thought that might be funny. And really, when things go bad and all else has failed, it's the electric motor and the gearing in here that you're going to rely on to get out, right? That's really where the name came from, Magneto. Magneto, and sorry, Boomer here, didn't know about the Marvel guys. It's really the attraction of one magnet trying to get to the other. And that's the power of magnets is what drives this. I always thought like a Chevy Volt is like calling a car the Chevy gasoline, you know, it's not that. So it's Magneto. Left the suspension all in place and a manual transmission. Really a strange combination, but it's pretty cool. And our intent with this is really just to research and ask people openly. We're kind of doing research with this car, and I'm not here to talk about range or charging. That wouldn't be really interesting because it's a retrofit, but really an electric Jeep doing Jeep things. How is that? Is it good, or is it better or worse than a gas vehicle? Look, I think the world's probably going to go this way at some point. Wouldn't do it this way in production, but I wanted to be able to come out here and drive a fully battery electric Jeep in these conditions and know what it feels like. And we aligned the power output of this, just for comparison. The electric motor in this aligns exactly as the V6, so it's 285 horsepower. I forget the torque, but it's exactly the same torque. But the curve is completely different. The curve goes up and stays flat, and you've got it from very, very low RPM. I hear over and over, can't you get it at 0 or 1 RPM? You can, I'm told, but you would hate driving it. It would be horrible. I have a partner here from Webasto. They helped me build this vehicle, and I've got Jason. Jason, raise your hand. He's my technical expert on this thing, and it has been your life for a year and a half, correct? So all technical questions go to him, not the crayon guy. But I want you to drive this car. I want you to feel it. I want you to think about what I'm talking about here, an electric Jeep as opposed to a gas Jeep. The manual transmission, and you'll get instructions on how to drive this. And again, it's not like a powertrain you've ever driven. You put it in gear, but the car's not running, okay? So you don't need the clutch to get going. You just throttle it, go. You need the clutch to change gears, 1, 2, 2, 3. You won't be doing a lot of that out here. Or you could just put it in 3rd gear and drive around. You can do these things. On the road, it drives very ordinary. We put regenerative braking into it, so when you downshift, you get downshift feel just like a gas car. It drives very normal on the road. It's not any. If it's quicker than a V6, it's not by much, and that wasn't the intent or the point here. Fun fact: usually when you drive a manual transmission off-road and you park somewhere on a rock, you can put it in gear, shut the motor off, and walk away from it. It's fine. This will roll on you because it doesn't have a compression engine, so e-brake on it. Interested in your thoughts, your impressions of driving this? It should be, well, just do it and then talk to me. I'd love to have it. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of questions on this. I wonder if we should just do that now.
I have a question.
There we go.
Can you tell us the weight difference between the V6 and when you put the batteries
We did not weigh it beforehand. The question is the weight of the car, and I'll tell you the weight here as it sits is 5750. So that is a vehicle that we took the roof off, we took the back seat out, we took the door out, we extracted the motor, we put bigger tires on it. Lots of variables, we couldn't really keep track of it. 5750 is heavy for a two-door. There's a lot of four doors out here that are much more than that.
And that's without the roof and the doors and everything.
Yeah, as it sits right here. 35-inch tires, which we picked intentionally. Very normal. It still has the 410 axles in it. Still has the 4-to-1 T case in it. It still has high and low range. And I did the gears, leaving all the gears very intentionally, because otherwise we'd just be stuck with one gear, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have the opportunity to go up and down the gear range and feel the differences between those. So, and you guys, please do that as well here. There's going to be tons of questions. Is there somebody else that wants to ask? That's fine. We'll keep going, but hugely interested in your thoughts on this. I can tell you we've already had a ton of great feedback, and it's also connected to our 4xe that is coming out shortly. We have that over here, and that you can drive in full electric in a situation like this, but there's still differences between this and that. So.